Greetings pilots, how are we all doing today? The Grumpy Gaming Dad here with my inaugural X-Plane 11 video, in which I'm hoping to achieve a short takeoff in this next generation Boeing 737, the 737-800, which is, or should be by now, the pretty familiar Zibo mod. We find ourselves parked up, rather precariously admittedly, at the Funafuti Atoll International Airport in Tuvalu, deep within the South Pacific, and if we take a close look at the airfield in the little navmap application, we can see that the only runway on this tiny atoll is a mere 5,054 feet long. Up until now, the shortest airfield I've flown in and out of has been Gibraltar, and that felt tiny in this B738 aircraft. But in comparison, this strip is 900 feet shorter and considerably narrower to boot. So as we go ahead and continue prepping the aircraft for departure, it will give me the chance to briefly mention what is behind this flight and the series of X-Plane 11 videos that will shortly be coming to my channel. I got the X-Plane bug fairly recently and have gradually been learning the ropes flying commercial passenger jets and loving it. Because of this, currently I'm undertaking an around-the-world tandem flight with fellow enthusiast Greendaz 1976, where we are attempting to cover all 234 territories detailed in the Project Fly Passport. And the videos on these with more information will be coming soon, so please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications when these go live if you haven't done so already. Also, we live stream each flight on Twitch, so please do also check out my Twitch channel, the details for which can be found in the video description below. Now, from the research I've done, it seems that the minimum reported takeoff distance for the standard 737-800 varies wildly, especially as Boeing did release a short field design package to allow better payload performance for airports with a sub 5,000 foot runway, which unfortunately our plane does not have installed. I did find one data sheet that shows a minimum takeoff distance of just 4,950 feet at sea level, assuming a 130,000 pound takeoff weight on a flaps 30 departure. However, we currently have 149 passengers on board, just over 34,000 pounds of cargo and nearly 24,000 pounds of fuel, bringing us to a takeoff weight of just under 150,000 pounds in total, or just over 68 metric tons. An added complication is that this airfield doesn't have taxiways or turning circles, so we are going to lose a little of our total runway length when we have to do a 180 after taxiing, when we get ready to line up on the active runway. Also, I didn't realise at the time that a takeoff with 30-degree flaps was possible, so that's why I've chosen a flaps 15 for the takeoff configuration today. So, we have our flaps at a less than ideal setting, we aren't able to utilise all of the runway, we're possibly slightly overweight for the given conditions, and I'm not a very experienced pilot. What could possibly go wrong? Let's find out. Okay, so we are just trying to squeeze out every last foot of runway possible here. We're getting that nose wheel, you're possibly too far over the end of the runway, but we are a little bit desperate. We're going to squeeze that round, try and keep those back wheels as close as possible to the end of the apron there on runway 03. Gently tease the nose round. I'm going to do our best to line up on the centre line, but given the tight turning circle, possibly not going to happen. Round we go, come on. So desperate to keep the rear of the aircraft as close to the end as possible. Such a short runway. I'm not even at this stage convinced the flaps 15 is going to work for us. This is genuinely the first time I attempted this takeoff. There we go. Creeping forward a little bit to let the front wheel straighten out, nose wheel. Not too bad, not on the centre line, but we can adjust that as we start powering through our takeoff. Get all the lights sorted. Landing lights on. Engine start switches are continuous.
Have a good flight.
That's the cabin crew telling us things are good to go. Mentally prepare. Switch on the weather and airport radar for the pilot and the terrain radar for co-pilot. Turn up his display brightness. Flaps 15 is set. Rejected takeoff is set. Start the clock. And now I'm going to build up power, and I'm going to build up power to a much higher level than normal. There we go, full power. Still on the brakes. Going to release the brakes as late as I can. Toga. Straighten up that nose. Pretty much on the centre line. Waiting for the call.
$80 knots.
That's 80, and we're level with the terminal building already. This isn't looking too great. Bit of a bump.
V1, rotate.
Rotate. Oh, and we rotate just as we reach
Positive
the
rate.
tarmac from the landings on the other side of the runway.
400.
Gears up. 400. LNAV select. Command A on. That's the computer doing its turn.
1000.
Speed's increasing. And start feeding out the flaps. And get a little bit carried away here because I'm not used to doing the flaps 15. And I let out the flaps a little bit too early there. Wait for the speed to climb again. And we can carry on to flap 0. There we go. Go for flap 0, landing gear locked, rejected takeoff, reset. And there we have it, we made it. A flaps 15 on a 5,000 and a bit foot runway. Probably should have been a flaps 30, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. So that's it, short video. I hope you enjoyed that. This is YouTube, you know what to do. Please leave a thumbs up, leave a thumbs down, please leave a comment, hit subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. Please keep your eyes open for the first of the Around the World All Territories flights. They will be coming to YouTube shortly. Until then, happy flying everybody, take it easy and see you soon. Bye for now.